Now let's go ahead and make sure that we can update the user. So when they click here, we want to pop something up, as you see here. That way we can populate the name, profession, favorite quote, and also the avatar URL. Okay, and then the user can change anything here, whatever they want, and then update or cancel if they change their mind. Now we are going to go back to where our icon is, our edit icon. I believe it's right about here. So what we want to happen here, first of all, we want to say show dialog again, invoke this method, and then of course it's going to require context and a builder. So control space like this, and in this case we just want to pass in this context. In this case we're going to pass the second option because we want to write some code inside here. So it's going to be, so go up and down, click enter, and there you have it. Put a semicolon so that we don't forget it. So we're going to return an alert dialog again. You should be pretty familiar with alert dialog at this point because they're pretty handy, as you see. And this alert dialog for the title, I'm going to say, I'm going to pass a center, and then the center, I'm going to pass a text. The child is going to be text. And this will have something like this. I'm going to have something that says edit. I'm going to pass then a variable, which is to be our current user get display name. That way it just says the current user. So that way users know, that way we know who is currently, that way we know who we are trying to edit, right? So passing the current user as such. Okay, and so this is for the title field. What we want to pass then for the content field there, the widget we need to pass, it's going to be a form type. Form allows us to put a form, as the name implies. But the great thing is that you can pass an intermediary widget, which we've seen before, which is the single child scroll view. Now, why is it that we're going to be passing a single child scroll view? Now, the main reason we are going to put everything inside of a single child scroll view, because just like previously, we want to make sure that if, for instance, we're running this app on an iOS device or Android device or a tablet where you do have a keyboard that has to pop up for users to start typing in the information they need to enter, what happens is the whole screen kind of shrinks a little bit upwards, right? So if you don't put everything inside of a single child scroll view, then everything is going to be cut off, meaning the users won't be able to see what's below the screen, which means they're not going to be able to finish with what they're doing, right? Which is adding information into a form. And for its own child, we're going to put a column because everything is going to be added in a column anyway, right? Top to bottom. All right. So children for this column, this is when we are going to be passing the actual form. Now, before we even add the form at the top, I'm going to put another circle avatar. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. They click, there's a circle avatar. So we've added this edit Paulo, right? So edit, and then we're going to add the name of whoever is logged in. And now we're going to add a circle avatar. We're going to add a background color. I'm going to make colors that are transparent because we don't want any color. Background image. And I'm going to say network image. And this is going to be user. And in this case here, I'm going to check if user avatar, I'm going to say cur user avatar is not, then I'm going to say cur user avatar or user get the avatar. Else, then we're going to do the same thing we did before, which is just grab this avatar and put it in there. And let's add a radius of 50. So same thing we did before. Let's go ahead and wrap this around a padding. That way we have nice padding all around. Let's go ahead and check it out and see if this is actually looking good. Okay, let's click. Voila, edit Lidos, and you can see there it is. There's that nice avatar. Tap somewhere else, then goes away. All right, it is working as intended. So next we're going to add all of these fields. All right, let's do that. Well, these fields are going to be at the bottom, really. So I'm going to just put a comma there and you say text form I pass a controller. In this case, it's going to be display name text controller, which we haven't created. And then for our decoration, you will be happy to know that we are going to reuse what we have created before, which is the build input decoration. In this case, then, that means we have to pass a few parameters. So first one is just the hint, say your name. And the second parameter, I believe, right, the first was label, the next is just hint text, right? That's what we're supposed to pass. In this case, we need positional name, so I'm going to say label. It's going to be your name. And then for the hint, I believe that's what I said. Yeah, the hint text, we're not going to pass anything. So I'm just going to put empty there. So say hint text, just nothing. Okay, so we're having an issue there. We'll solve that. Let me go ahead and copy and paste this a few times. In fact, let's wrap this around padding again. So select everything, command period. Let's give a general padding, and the next text form is going to be pretty much the same. I'm just going to paste a few times. Okay, now we need to create the actual controllers. So I'm going to start with this one. And right at the top of this entire class, I'm going to say final text editing controller. That name is equal to new text editing controller, like that. I'm going to copy this a few times. Profession text controller, quote text controller, avatar text controller as such. Let's go back here and make the necessary changes at the bottom. Okay, let's remove all of these. Actually, let's put all of that inside of our build method there. Let's go back down here. I just needed that. This favorite. This quote. Profession. Say profession. There we go, text controller. Sometimes you probably have to do everything, and this is display name controller as such. All right, let's save this. Let's take a look, edit, and there you have it. So we got name, profession, favorite, and avatar. So it's looking really good, and of course there's a few things we will have to change, but so far, so good.